No end in sight to rising food prices, even after the heads of Canada's largest grocery chains testified in Ottawa. Some experts calling it political theatre that did little to help Canadian consumers. We're told the only real solution is to make the industry more competitive.
Canadians are struggling. Are your prices fair?
Do you think that anything will change after yesterday?
Oh, no, not at all.
Not the answer most Canadians were hoping for.
You know what? I just don't believe it. It's so ridiculous.
We used to buy more organic stuff and we just kind of cut that out.
We've changed our whole diet.
For months, grocers have been blamed for skyrocketing grocery bills, accused of greedflation after grocery prices increased by 11.4% in January compared to the year before. That's almost double the overall rate of inflation.
Their fixed costs have not gone up by as much as inflation has. And so for that reason, their profits have increased abnormally.
But on Wednesday, the CEOs of the largest grocery chains in the country refuted allegations of price gouging.
No matter how many times you read it on Twitter, the idea that grocers are causing food inflation is not only false, it's impossible.
While there's no denying the profits of all three companies are up sharply, they pin that on higher sales in non-food items like cosmetic and pharmacy products at Shoppers Drug Mart or the Joe Fresh clothing line. They say their profit margins on food are razor thin.
This goes right through the entire supply chain. It's easy to point at the final, the consumer only sees the final output when they go to the grocery store.
And Canada's food inflation actually remains the third lowest amongst G7 countries. When compared to European countries, it doesn't seem like Canada's doing too bad. Germany's food inflation rate was a striking 20.7% in January across grocery stores and restaurants. Still, Canadians are and should be concerned. The cost of groceries has created more barriers to accessing healthy food, and more vulnerable households are now experiencing food insecurity.
Oh, I think it's disastrous. Absolutely disastrous.
Even before the unprecedented rise in food prices, 6 million Canadians were struggling to afford groceries they needed.
People in bad situations are now in worse situations. Nutritionally, I think the quality has to be going downhill. And in the long run, I think we're going to see more health problems.
We're told the only solution is more competition.
We do have a country that is having a hard time attracting investments. We're having a hard time attracting new players to actually bring more competition. Nordstrom left last week. I mean, it's a tough market to service.
A bit of good news, though, for Canadians.
Avocados, tofu, peanut butter, and mushroom are cheaper compared to last year. Now,
that's a short list.
It is a short list.
Meanwhile, the price of beef is expected to increase in the next 6 months.
If you like beef, buy now.
That parliamentary committee has also decided to invite the CEOs of Walmart and Costco Canada to testify, so more to come on that. Plus, there was a new report from the RBC that found that Canadians on average are making fewer trips to the grocery store, but they are spending roughly the same amount per trip.